love the way it looks. It's so much better than my current tea towels. My regular kitchen towels are quite old and stained. And incidentally, I had these plain, cheap IKEA tea towels lying around the house. You've seen me use them earlier in two different projects. So I thought I'm just gonna grab these and jazz them up a bit to make them look prettier. Hi everyone, welcome to Ooni Crafts. If you are a crafter who owns a mini sewing machine, and if you like helping your planet, you've come to the right place because Ooni Crafts is a craft and home improvement channel committed to donating a percentage of all ad revenue to charities of your choice. For more details, please click on the About section of Ooni Crafts and check out the channel banner for all the charities that you have helped raise money for. I started off with a plain strip of polycotton. Pure cotton is better, but I didn't have any, so I just used polycotton. You need it to be slightly wider than the actual kitchen towel, but again, my strip was just so small, so I actually cut out two pieces and stitched them down the middle to make it work. And then on the wrong side of the fabric, I just folded the long edges once inwards and pressed them down all the way. So I think this is about less than half an inch of a fold, about half a centimeters or 3/4 of a centimeters worth of fold. It's not an exact science, just fold it under ever so slightly and give it a good steam press all along the length of the fabric, just so you've got nice folded edges. And you can see that's where my central stitch line is, where I connected two smaller pieces of fabric to make one long strip. So that's why I'm just paying a little more extra attention there, but it was just very, very simple, just folding in both the long edges and pressing them down. Now here's my tea towel, and that's the wrong side of it. I simply took the tea towel and folded it in half lengthwise to find the midpoint of my tea towel. Now you don't need to do this if you are using one long strip of fabric, but because my fabric had a stitch line running down the middle, I just want that stitch line to match up to the center of the tea towel, which is why I'm taking this extra step. You don't have to do it. Now that the central stitch line is matched up with the center of the tea towel, I'm just taking some sewing pins and pinning the fabric in place roughly so that it doesn't move around too much. And that distance where the strip is placed away from the edge of the tea towel, I've simply eyeballed it, but it's about 3 inches. Now I'm going to sew a straight stitch all the way along the top and the bottom lower edge of that strip that we just folded over. I'm not going to do any back stitching or any reverse kangaroo hops at the beginning or at the end of this because the ends will be cut and turned under. So all I'm simply doing here is using my small little pair of scissors to press down on the presser foot near the beginning of the project because that's where the folded over edge of the tea towel is. So we are working through multiple layers. And then once that edge is gone, I'm simply sewing a nice straight stitch all the way from one edge to the other. And you will see where I pass over the central stitch line of that strip. I press down on the presser foot one more time with my little scissors just to increase the pressure a little bit. But other than that, it's just smooth sailing and it's just one long stitch all the way through. Right, one long edge of the strip has been stitched down and now we're going to do the same thing with the other long edge. Please excuse any drilling noises that you hear in the background because I'm getting a cupboard built on the floor beneath me and there's a carpenter working with his tools, so I hope it's not too much of a distraction. But there we go, we are sewing again one long stitch line all the way across. Now that the stitching is over, I'm going to simply snip away any extra long lengths of thread, and then I'm just going to press down on the seams with a hot steam iron just to set the seams in. Now I flipped the towel over onto the wrong side and snipped away the extra lengths of that checkered strip, leaving just enough fabric so that once I fold it over twice, it roughly matches up to the folded over edge of the tea towel. Some people actually unpick the seams on the edges of the tea towel and then wrap the seam of the strip within the tea towel seams. But I really didn't want to bother with unpicking. I just do not like unpicking. I don't think anyone likes unpicking stitches. So I simply tried to match up the width of this folded over edge as closely as possible to the rolled over edge of the tea towel so that it naturally sits within the same width of the edge. And then I gave both the edges a good press. Now we simply have to sew them down, but do remember to do a reverse stitch of some sort. I'm choosing to do the reverse kangaroo hop here because it's one of my favorite reverse or locking stitch, and in this manner the strip is not going to unravel. Also, because we are working through multiple layers of fabric here and it's only a short distance to sew, I'm going to keep on pressing down on the presser foot and keep up the pressure on there all down the width of this strip so that all of our stitches come through perfectly well. And then to finish off, I'm going to do a reverse kangaroo hop again and repeat the same on the other side. And now that the sewing is done, all that now remains is that we snip away any extra lengths of thread and give the whole project a really good hot steam press to make sure that all the stitches settle down beautifully well within the fabric and that our project looks beautifully finished. And there you have it. That's the finished tea towel. I love the way it looks. It's so much better than my current tea towels, which have seen very many years of use and they are just so stained beyond recognition. But this is just such a beautifully finished tea towel. It's unique. I know no one else will have a tea towel like this. And it suits my kitchen really well. So I'm happy to hang it here on the handle of my oven without having to tuck it away after every use. If you found today's tutorial helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Pass on this video to one more friend who doesn't know how to sew so that they can be inspired and try an easy and quick project at home as well. Thank you so much for watching and I shall see you next week. Take care. Bye.